Hey, I'm hopping on to do a crochet chat because I'm in a bad mood and I was hoping that you would cheer me up. I'm sulking because I've just ditched a video where I spent ages recording it. Whilst I was editing it, I realised how pants it was and it made me feel like I was rubbish and a massive failure. So we need to turn that around quickly by talking about fun, nice crochet and pretty colours and things like that. So that video will be binned and I'll have to be a bit more prepared and well planned for the future as and when I do it again. So what instead I will do is just talk for a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, in the hope that in doing so you guys will cheer me up, because I think that's what works, isn't it? Talking to people, just talking it through and coming out of that funk. I'm distracted. I'm just looking at my ball bag on the floor. It's a ball bag of balls are full. So naughty. I'm just going to change colour because I'm actually working on a project at the moment to try and get out of the feelings of failure for something else as well. I mean, honestly, I'm weighed heavy with it all coming from different directions of having feelings of negativity. Such is life, and I think the world doesn't help, it's true. But without talking about that in great detail, because let's talk about this one. Ducky Fuzz is a vest top that I designed and I released a few months ago, and it has been a flop. And I'm not sure why. There could be a couple of different reasons. The door's just blown open. Even things like that. The door is broken and I can't click it shut. It's enough to add to the pile of woe is me type things. It's ridiculous. I mean, you know, get some perspective. Ducky Fuzz sadly has not done very well. It's a crochet vest top, and I wonder, is it because I released it at the wrong time of year? Is it because it's made with fluffy yarn and that puts people off? By the way, I love fluffy yarn with all my heart, and I have a video about using mohair and fluffy yarns, some top tips. If you want to check that out, do so. But is that the reason why? Does it put people off? Or yeah, I mean, I can't. Is it just not very good? With the photos not on brand? Have I gone too far away from my usual fare? Because the yarn colour choices aren't particularly on brand, whatever that means. And then but I've made it now. I'm making a fourth one. I'm making a stripy one this time because I think it will be more colourful and cheerful, and maybe that will catch people's eye. But I don't know where one of them is. One of them is with Mammy and Florrie, the original and probably the nicest one. Oh no, actually this one's really nice too, but this one's made with non-fluffy yarn because I wanted to, it's a bit creased, sorry, it's on the chair next to my bed, so I've just been wearing it and thrown it on the chair to become creased. But I made another one which is in a neutral colour, again not technically very Zeens and Roger. So has this also not been something that people have warmed to because it's a bit neutral? It's not sort of, maybe it doesn't sort of shout out to folks particularly, but I love it. This is a Yarnadelic one in, I think, the shade Beautiful Ones, and it's a worsted weight yarn, and it's got beautiful stitch definition for crochet actually. Really, really pretty and lovely to use. There's that crochet ribbing that I love so much. But yeah, so still I have had very few set pattern sales. So yes, colourful, zany, zingy root instead, and this is Starcraft Grace, which is a recommended yarn in the pattern, and I know people have made Ducky Fuzz with Starcraft Grace. I've made a bit of the front or back. They're both the same up until a certain point, and this point, and then I change up for the upper body, shouldery bits. I do like those stripes very much. They are really fun, aren't they? And makes me slightly happy, which is good. And well, it excites me enough that it makes me curious about what it will look like finished up, and that's enough to spur me on. But it's a decent stash buster because this is all yarn I had already. I have not bought anything new for this, and I wouldn't have done because this is the 4th time I've made it. I have made it in another worsted weight yarn from Cascade Heritage, not Cascade 220 it was, but I didn't actually like the way the fabric felt. It was quite crunchy and stiff almost, and I want something with a bit more drape and fluff, sure, but not like crazy fluff. This is manageable and controllable, and I think I could do this really quickly as well. I'm also, and I hate to be controversial, I think I'm going to knit the waistband and the armholes and neck. I think I'm going to do that, not because I dislike the crochet rib, because I think it's like my favourite rib I've used in this pattern and I love it, but because, and I'm not going to show this off here because I'm going to do a whole separate video on it, but I have basically been knitting neckbands and things on other garments too. Look at that, it's a v-neck. Fancy. I will talk about this jumper another time in a video that will probably be about an hour long by the time I've finished, but it's a granny square jumper sweater, and I've used knitted ribbing, and I have enjoyed that so much. I'm going to try it again on this one to see how it looks, and I think it will work fine. I think it will look beautiful, so wish me luck. Hopefully this time next week I'll have a nice vest, a 4th Ducky Fuzz, and one that will cheer you guys up as much as it cheers me up. Okay, just chatting in general here, aren't we? We're just chatting in general. See, another thing that flopped last year was the Bermuda triangle bag, and it's a stitch I really like, and I thought that everybody else would think it was great too, but apparently not. This one does have an error in it, so don't look too closely. But my goodness, I love this triangle stitch. It's fabulous. And this is the Bermuda triangle bag. Did really, really badly. And so again, I'm kind of like desperately scrabbling to try and make it a success rather than just moving on. Maybe I shouldn't look to the past to try and make things new again, but these things exist. And let's try and make, if they're not quite right, I would like to tweak to see if I can make improvements. So I've started again, all in one colour. And this is a 100 gram ball of cotton, double knit, I think. I used this. It's James C. Brett 100% pure DK cotton. There's 215 meters of cotton yarn in this ball, and I've got the white randomly, and then this gold, and this is this exactly with this much left over. So from here up to whatever row is exactly the same as Bermuda Triangle, but because I ran out of yarn I couldn't finish it, and I was going to do like leather handles, but structurally this is too weak for leather handles. So instead I've done lots of single crochets, that's UK double crochets, with chains intermittently, and I was thinking of getting some like macrame, what's it called, rope stuff, and threading that through so it becomes a little drawstring bag instead, and then I can have a free pattern on my blog. I'm happy to do that and see how that goes. Now what I could do is something like this. You have the drawstring going from the bottom as well, going from the top to the bottom, so it becomes like a little backpack thing. I might do that for this. What do you think? I'm sure I've got some, yes, rope sort of similar to this really, and I wondered if I could do that. I don't know quite how to achieve this unless I literally just tie it onto the corners. Again, I'm not sure how structurally sound that would be though, so maybe I would just have it as a little gathered bag like that. Don't know, but that makes me happier than the first incarnation of Bermuda Triangle actually. I like the, oh that's the join there, no it's not, that's a piece of string. The join is there. So, I mean, I do like this, but I don't love it. Certainly not since it didn't do so well. Kind of put a taint on it. But this, much prefer, and I probably would aim for maybe a wider, deeper top to mimic, to mirror this down the bottom if I was going to do handles on it. But as I don't have enough yarn, I can't do that, so I'm changing tack. I'm not sure I'm quite cheered up enough yet. What shall I talk about? What else shall I talk about to get like a bit of ecstasy going on? Well, my long-term plan is to do Fuzzy Duck to accompany Ducky Fuzz. And Fuzzy Duck actually came first in my design list of things to do. I created my first, interestingly, or not that interestingly, depending on which way you look at it, Fuzzy Duck came about from a C2C project I did a couple of years ago that never came to light because I decided that it was too difficult to grade. But Fuzzy Duck is one for winter, and it is a mohair and 4-ply jumper, and I have stripes on one of them, the one I finished, but I plan to make a couple of samples that don't have stripes and then have the pattern ready in time for the autumn. And then last week I bought some yarn that wasn't fluffy to cater to those of you that go absolutely no way am I ever using mohair. And so I've bought West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab DK, and I've chosen this particular DK because actually it's quite a light, it's on the lighter side of DKs, it's slightly thinner than other DK weight yarns, and if you hold mohair together with a 4-ply yarn, or you know, like a fingering weight yarn, I don't think it actually quite meet the same gauge as a double knit. So this is one of the thinner double knits I found that does meet gauge, which is good. And I have, you know, been to Swatch City and so many times you wouldn't believe with this is the swatch that I've done for Fuzzy Duck again and again and again. That's the Colour Lab, which is the same as this, different shade of blue. Another shade, a navy blue. I think I want a navy blue jumper one day, but not at the moment. This Millimere sport weight yarn, that met gauge, I think, but and it's non-fluffy, but I was worried it would be too heavy. Having worked with it in the past, it's quite might create quite a heavy jumper. Maybe not. I might be making it up. Drops Fiesta. Didn't meet gauge because it was too plump. This DK was too plump, but I would love to use it in something else. It'd be amazing. That's Mohair by Onion. I can't remember what they were called exactly, but I think I've spoken about them in the past. That was one that didn't, oh no, that did meet gauge. And this was, I think this is John Arbon Devonia, which met gauge. So anyway, this is not all of them either. There's loads of them. I went a bit crazy. And my favourite that I might frog and use in something else, because I want to do like a little Stash Buster cardigan one day, and I might frog this back and put that into a cardigan, or get all those swatches and swatches for other things too, create one big blanket jumper, who knows. So this is going to become a jumper, but my gosh, I'm so hot right now. It's so hot right now that to think about a jumper that even has a roll neck, it makes me want to melt. I can't cope. But I need to start it ASAP to get everything done in time. Not to mention do a stripy version. I did a stripy version and I started one. I made one. I've nearly finished it. So I did that in February. Don't like it. So I want thinner stripes. I did it. It's a jumper that has quite thick stripes. That doesn't work for me. I want thin stripes. So I'm going back to the drawing board with all of these beautiful balls of mohair that I've already pre-prepared, which is not necessarily to everyone's tastes to do it this way, but it works well for me. Yes, it means that you can't reuse either yarn necessarily in another project unless you're willing to undo it, but I know I won't. It's fine. This is like when I buy mohair, I'm not going to use it in any other way apart from match it colour for colour with the 4-ply that goes with it. And if I needed that particular shade of mohair, I'd just buy it again. It's fine. And also, this just looks lovely. They look lovely, all in balls like this. Works for me. I really like it. And I want to do a thin striped jumper of fuzzy duck. Got to be really careful when you say it, but that's part of the fun, and that does cheer me up. I think I feel happier. I feel happier now. Oh, well, actually, one more sneak peek. It's the same jumper. But with I'm gonna do let me open it and I'll show you. So this Colour Lab stuff that I bought will become a one without, it'll just be a round crew neck fuzzy dark, and then this will be one that has a roll neck, so like what else is the other word for it? Turtleneck? No, can't think. Roll neck, polo neck. I can hear the joyous laughter of my children playing computer games, which is something else that cheers me up. When they're happy, I'm happy too. So I will hold these double. This is Yarn Smith Merino Sock and Yarn Smith Kid Mohair Silk. When you wrap them together, they actually blend really well. If only this mohair were as rich and sumptuous as this green, which is the merino. I would love this to be this, because this is gorgeous. This is like one of the best greens you can get in my eyes. And this one is more muted and chalky, which isn't my fave. And so together it becomes slightly more muted and doesn't bring me as much joy as this lush green on its own. However, as a jumper, it will look really good. I feel it in my bones. And also, I can't remember what I was watching. Oh, actually, do you know what? I think it was Department Q, new on Netflix, right? And I'm sure that one of the characters is wearing a jumper that's very similar green. I'm like, I'm totally with it. I've got it. This is it. This is like, it's matching what is going to be a hit TV show. So, you know, this could be a Sarah Lund moment. That's a reference to The Killing, when that like Nordic jumper was very, very popular about 5-10 years ago. I don't know if it will reach those heady heights, but I saw this green jumper on this TV show and went, oh yeah, no, the green will work, the green will look good. Not the only knitwear on that programme either, so if you have Netflix, watch Department Q, because there's teal jumpers, there's some beautiful orange like sleeveless numbers. I think one's an orange cardigan, the same character wears then like 2 episodes later a sleeveless orange knitted thingy that looks fabulous. And then I don't know, I've seen there's hats on that programme, more knitted things. I approve. I tried, like, for the first 2 episodes I was getting up every like 5 minutes to take photographs of my of the TV screen to get snapshots of these knitted items before I realised that was silly and I had to stop because it was disturbing the actual telly watching. I'm a bit hot in this room, so can you hear this? This is the only problem with Starcraft Grace, is that it's 85% acrylic, and it is, I mean, not that acrylic is a problem, but when I'm this warm it makes my hands sweaty and it makes the yarn squeak something chronic. I would love a Starcraft Grace even more if it was like toned down a little bit on the acrylic. Maybe it's I think it's 85% acrylic. Make it 75 and bump the wool content a bit to reduce the squeak. Yeah, just, I mean, that's just in dreamland, I suppose. I don't suppose they'll listen to me on my podcast where I've gone a bit loopy. Right. So yes, coming up in the future, 2, if not 3, if not 4 fuzzy ducks, because I really, really like the pattern. The design I've done, I think, is one I'm very, very proud of and will be very proud of. And I'm getting really sort of excited by all the different possibilities of colours, blends and stripes potentially. Do I have time to do all of this? No, probably not. But if I do 2, if I do the green one and the blue one, then I can do the stripy versions that I have in my head at my leisure. So let me know what you're working on. Are you quite so crazy as this haphazard lady? Let me know in the comment section. And yeah, hopefully you're still enjoying crochet, even if it is warm where you are. There's always some sort of crochet we could do, isn't there? Right. I'm struggling, so I'm going to say goodbye now. I'll see you another time. Cheerio. Bye.